Hi everyone, this is the video tutorial for the Market Bag Crochet Kit. For this video tutorial, we're going to use both the written and the charted pattern. Here I'm going to briefly explain how to read the charted pattern. So this first row is actually the translation of the first row right here of the charted pattern. When crocheting in rows, we usually start by chaining on the left hand side and then work our way towards the right hand side. We will then chain one as indicated as this symbol and then work our way towards the direction of the arrow. Now let's get started. We'll be using the size 4 end of the crochet hook. We'll start by making a slip knot. Next, chain a total of 80 stitches. Count to make sure that you have a total of 80 stitches. Now let's proceed into the next step. We will single crochet into the second chain from the hook. We will then single crochet into the remaining 9 stitches. Mark the first stitch with a stitch marker. Single crochet into the next 9 stitches. Next, we will proceed into making the chain spaces for the net pattern of the bag. These symbols that has the number 3 written on it is an equivalent to this part. Each of these oval shapes represent a chain stitch, so 3 of these means chain 3. And then the ones on the bottom also represent chain stitches, but these are the stitches that we will skip, so skip 3. Next, single crochet is represented by a plus symbol, so single crochet into the 4th stitch. Start by chaining 3, skip 3 stitches, and then single crochet into the 4th. Here we have completed the first repeat. On the pattern, it says to repeat it for 14 times. This means that we have to repeat the chain 3, skip 3, single crochet 1 set for another 13 times. This is the first set that we've just completed. Repeat the same set for another 13 times. This will not be a part of the 14 set repeat. Now we will count to make sure if we have a total of 14 repeats. Next, we're going to chain 3, skip 3, and then single crochet 10. We're going to compare the fabric that we've crocheted with the chart. As you can see, the chart is a visual representation of the fabric that we have just made. The 2 single crochet bars on the sides are shown as these parts on the chart, and the chain spaces in the center are shown as these ones. Now we will proceed into the second row. Since the direction of the arrow is going towards the right side, we will read the pattern from the left side going towards the right. Start the second row by making a chain 1 and then single crochet 10. Don't forget to mark the first stitch with a stitch marker. Next, we're going to chain 5 and then single crochet into the second chain space. This is the chain 5, and then this is where we single crochet into the second chain space. Chain 5 and then single crochet into the second chain space. This is the first chain space and this is the second one, so single crochet into the second chain space. The stitches that you have just made will have the exact same construction as the one on the charted pattern. Now we will chain 5 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Repeat this for 12 times. This is the chain 5 repeat shown on the chart. Chain 5 and then single crochet into the next chain space. This will be the first repeat of the set. Repeat it for another 11 times. of the repeats. Count to make sure that you have a total of 12 repeats. Now we're going to finish off the row by chaining 5, skip the next chain space and then single crochet 10. The 10th single crochet should go into the stitch with the stitch marker. The stitch marker attached on the first stitch will help to make sure that the top edge of the bag stays neat. It helps to make sure that we do not accidentally skip any stitches. Next, we will proceed into the third row. We will now work from the right side going towards the left according to the direction of the arrow. As per usual, we will start by chaining 1 and then single crochet 10. Now we will chain 3 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Here's another comparison of the actual fabric and the charted pattern. So the chain 3 that we just made is indicated as this part on the pattern, and the plus sign on the chain 5 space indicates the single crochet into the next chain space. Next, chain 6 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Repeat the set for another 12 times. off the row, chain 3 and then single crochet 10. Now we will proceed into the 4th row of the pattern. Since the arrow is pointing towards the right, we will proceed from the left to the right. Start with a chain 1 and then single crochet 10. Now we will chain 7 and then single crochet into the second chain space. Now we will proceed into the chain 7, single crochet into the next chain space, repeat. For the last part, we will chain 7 and then skip the next chain space. Next, we will proceed into the 5th row. We will read the chart following the direction of the arrow, going from the right to the left. We will start by chaining 1 and then single crochet 10. Now we will chain 4 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Next, chain 8 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Repeat the set for 13 times. chain 4 and single crochet 10. Next, we're going to proceed to the 6th row. We're going to start off the same by chaining 1 and then single crochet 10. Next, chain 9 and then single crochet into the second chain space. Chain 9, single crochet into the next chain space and repeat it for 12 times. Chain 9 and then skip the next chain space. As you can see, it has started to take shape. This will be the side part of the bag. Now we'll move on to the 7th row. Start by chaining 1 and then single crochet 10. Next, chain 4 and then single crochet into the next chain space. Now repeat this set for 13 times. Chain 4 and single crochet 10. Now we have completed the first 7 rows of the bag. Here's how we can count the number of rows. Repeat row 6 and 7 for another 12 times. And then repeat row 6 once more. will end up on the 32nd row. Now I'm going to show you how to join the second ball of yarn. Grab the end of the second ball of yarn and then unravel the single crochet on the chain space. Put the hook back into the stitch and then yarn over as if you're about to single crochet. Now you will have 2 loops on your hook. With the other end of the yarn, pull it through both the loops to complete the single crochet. Tie both yarn ends together to secure them. Now the yarn has been joined and you can crochet as usual. Here's another way on how you can join a new ball of yarn. It's the same method as the previous one. Pull through the new end of yarn as you complete the single crochet. This is how it's going to look when you have reached the 32nd round. Now we are going to count to make sure that we have the right number of rows.